What's up, guys? We're back with another episode of The Acolyte. That's right, we're back to talk about episode 6 of The Acolyte. Look, the videos I've done for this show have been not very nice. And look, I don't like this show. And if this is, someone who's watching this, who's a fan of the show, I don't want to, take away from your enjoyment of it. So, I'm just going to say off the bat, once again, this is coming from someone who doesn't like the show. But guess what? I'll say what works for me. I'm not just going to hate on it completely. I'll say what works for me. And, this episode, I don't think it was as bad as the previous few episodes, but I don't know. I don't really think any of the episodes were that great, to be honest with you. But this one is up there. It's one of the better ones. But it's slow. This is such a slow episode where nothing really happens. Nothing really happens. And you've got 2 episodes left. We've got episode 7 and 8. And then the season is over. What happened to the Ryan Johnson thing, how he was supposed to get a new Star Wars trilogy, and it just never happened because I think there would have been an uproar. I don't know. But he's doing a lot better now with his Knives Out movies. I just don't think Star Wars was for him. Just like Star Wars, I don't think it's for Leslie Headland, the creator and showrunner of this. I just don't think she gets it. I think she's a fan, but I don't think she truly understands in the sense that she's able to create this entire show and, just sort of lore break in a sense with a lot of things. But look, this episode itself, like I said, it's slow. And with only now 2 episodes left, this episode should not have been as slow, and we should have started getting answers in this episode. Things should have picked up here, and we should have started getting answers into Saul's past, what happened on the planet with the witches, what's going on with Venestra. We needed to get some answers. The only real thing we got in this is kind of confirmation that Quimmer is, once was a Jedi, a Padawan, and apparently was just kind of thrown away, maybe because they sensed the darkness in him. I'm not entirely sure. They didn't give us the answer to that. She says, what happened? Was it you and your master? What was the issue? And he just kind of looks at her for 5 seconds and then goes, "Oh, look at this is quartosis," or whatever he says about his helmet. So, and I thought that was a little ridiculous. This is someone that you are trying to now get to wear your helmet. This is someone who you are trying to get as your new acolyte, and you're not going to tell her when she asks you a question. I mean, you got to change your game plan completely. His original game plan with May is he's not taking his hat off. He doesn't want her to see who he is. And now things are completely different. Osha knows who he is. His mask is off. She sees his face. She sees everything else too, which is a little strange, but we're not going to talk about that. Yeah. So she knows who he is. So, you're trying to get this girl's trust. You tell her what she asks. She's asking you questions. You tell her. But no, he's not going to tell her because they want to continue to cock tease the audience, which this episode ultimately was. The ultimate cock tease, if you will, with, what happens in the lake as he comes out without his clothes on. And she's just like, peeking at his business. Like, what? I just, why is this? Why? I just don't. What, what was the point of that? Um, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. And the whole thing with Saul on the ship with May, who I think he found out that it was May, maybe in those final seconds of their conversation. I don't know, because the first half of the episode, it seemed like he thought it was Osha. but you don't really get that moment of discovery. Like, he should have had that moment of discovery, like, oh, this is somebody else. You don't get that. He just kind of blasts her and knocks her unconscious, and it's like, oh, May. Like, oh, okay. Like, it was just done in the most uninteresting way. And, like, nothing happens on that ship other than the power continuously going out and them teasing us information. It was really bad. And what happens with Venestra on Coruscant, now going to the planet with the dead Jedi and realize Kofar, I believe, and just kind of realizing that a lightsaber has killed all these Jedi. I mean, but why is no one, like, so many Jedi are around and they realize that these bodies were killed by a lightsaber. Nobody's going to go to the High Council, even though the High Council's not sensed all these Jedi are being murdered, but no one's going to go to the High Council. I mean, we're not going to tell anybody. Nobody's just be like, hey, Master Yoda, let's talk about all these Jedi that are being murdered. No, we're not going to tell them. We're just going to sweep it. How do you sweep that kind of thing under the rug? It doesn't. I just don't. The whole execution of the whole thing is terrible, and the execution of the sisters. I mean, now OSHA is just going to put the helmet on and not be able to see. I mean, did this guy use the Force to see? Because she puts the helmet on. You cannot see a thing. It is like slits. It's like when you open your eyes 5%. I mean, that's what you see through this helmet. So how can you wear it and see where the hell you're going? I mean, it might look cool on the outside, but she puts it on. You can't see a thing. How does anybody wear it? It just doesn't make sense. And she's like, earlier in the episode, she's like, I'm not like my sister. I'm not that easily corrupted. 5 minutes later, she's putting the damn helmet on. I mean, it's just the writing. It's just not great. And I've said that so many damn times, but it continues to disappoint. This next episode, they have to give answers. They have to. There's no time left. I mean, it just doesn't make sense how they're still, dangling the keys in front of us and, like, not letting us have what we want. At this point, give us the juice. And it's just, the first half of the season could be a mystery. The second half, we have to start getting answers. And we're not. And it's pissing me off. So that's where I'm at with episode 6 of The Acolyte, guys. Comment down below. Did you see this episode? What'd you think about it? What's your thoughts on the show? Are you a fan of it? Maybe you are. And guess what? I totally respect that, but I'd like to know why. So leave that down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button now. I've got a new review for A Quiet Place Day 1 that's up on the channel now. We're going to be talking about Maxine. We're going to be talking about the bike riders, the exorcism, a bunch of exciting stuff coming in the future. You can follow me on Twitter and or X at RyanKing72 and Instagram and TikTok at KingArises131. That's about it for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for episode 6 of The Acolyte. And until next time, over and out.